Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email us, tmosso@the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. Today, we're discussing a rare opportunity because not many were made. The production window is short and the watch is beautiful. This is the Patek Philippe Calatrava 6000G and it's the 012 model. So, of course, this design dates back to the 5000 of 1992, and the case, at least, continues in production as the 6007 today. It's a bigger watch, the dial's changed, the movement's changed, but the lineage of this unique thrusting lug design is an unbroken spectrum from 92 to the present day. The reason the -12 version of the 6000 is so important is because it was launched in 2015 and discontinued very early in 2017, making it a rare opportunity for a Patek Philippe collector who does not want this dial in either black or gray. So this is a lovely watch that wears a bit larger than its actual diameter. So the diameter in white gold is 37 millimeters. The thickness is 9 millimeters, and even though it's only 46.6 lug tip to lug tip with a 21 millimeter spacing between the lugs, it has this broad, thrusting, almost Carrera-like stance on the wrist in that it wears a bit like a Heuer or Tag Heuer Carrera. The lugs, being as large and flat as they are, create the impression of a much bigger watch, to the point that I would say, forget the measurements, it wears like a 40, so regard it as a 40. I can see it working just fine on a wrist of, let's say, 15 centimeters circumference and up. My wrist is 16. You can see I've got a little bit of clearance, but not as much as you would expect on a 37. I would even go so far as to say, in many instances, this will not be an ideal fit for a woman. So if you are a woman who likes this style, consider one of the original 5000s as an alternative. The watch has a robust strap of large, medium, and small rectangular scale alligator leather. It's an unconventional and sort of beguiling type of cut, as you don't see it deployed very often on straps. It's a matte medium blue. You can see it features an edge that's cut and then lacquered. We have a monotone stitch, calfskin on the bottom, and there is no crimping or gouging on the bottom of the strap. It uses Patek's pull-tab spring bar, so you can pop that strap off the case without tools. We have a white gold, really gray gold, folding clasp. You can see this design uses a radial spring, so while it is a friction fit system, the snap shut provided by that radial spring means it's actually got a little bit more closure security than you will find on a standard friction fit. And then we have the Calatrava Cross, which is the symbol of the brand, on the buckle. You'll find it also on the crown and also on the rotor. You can see what I mean about those lugs. They are massive. Integrated into the case band, traditional Calatrava style, they are longer and proportionally grander in relation to the case than you'll find on an average Calatrava. And while there's a little bit of camber, it really wears as a flat plank across the wrist. One feature I've always loved is the way the lugs wrap around. You can see the case band wraps around the edge of the lug. And then we have a very shallow domed bezel profile. And all this is gray gold, which means it's the good stuff. It's white gold that is not rhodium plated, never needs to be plated, and if scratched, is the same color all the way through. JLC, Rolex, Grubel 4C, Debatoon, many other premium brands use this kind of 18-karat white gold, gray gold. The dial. So we have here some of the elements from the original 5000, like the radially arrayed numerals and the small seconds. Of course, the 6000 brought a pointer-style date to the party. Now, this was always regarded as an automotive-inspired dial, drawing from Porsche, Jaguar, perhaps Mercedes-Benz sports cars of the 1950s, and you can see the resemblance to an automotive dashboard clock, tachometer, or speedometer. Everything's radially arrayed. You can see that there are a couple of different finishes, textures, and tones on the dial. And if you look really carefully, you can see that there's actually a contrast between the hour track and then the track for the date itself. There's a little pusher adjuster for adjusting the pointer date. Hands are all white varnished, which makes for excellent contrast. And then we have this sort of piano key center where you can read the individual minutes and the hours. And it has a bit of a azurage or concentric pattern within it, as does the small second. Flip it all over. One of the distinctive qualities of the 5000 and the 6000 was that it used a micro rotor automatic, whereas most basic Calatravas that were not complications of some kind would use a center rotor system or a manual wind. Well, here we have the 240, which is considered to be a more upscale Patek automatic than a center rotor, and generally only paired with flagship complications like perpetual calendars. So its presence here is kind of remarkable and definitely raises the gravitas of this model. We have a screwed-in caseback and a push-down crown. It's 30-meter water resistant, so don't take it swimming. But we have a 22-carat micro rotor on ceramic ball bearings for efficient winding of a 48-hour power reserve, beating away at 21,600 vibrations per hour. All of this, as you can see, pivoting on 27 jewels, and then adjusted in 6 positions. So with the combination of the Patek Philippe seal, 6-position adjustment, anti-magnetic Spiromax silicone hairspring, and the Gyromax free-sprung balance, these were said to run no worse than -3 + 2 seconds per day from the factory. So a 48-hour power reserve, nicely decorated, and you can see that one of the advantages of a micro rotor is that you can have a pointer calendar with automatic winding that is as thin as a manual wind, because the rotor and the winding train are in the same plane as the drivetrain. Also, it gives you a big open caseback display, not blocked by a winding bridge or a center rotor. So it's a really cool aesthetic if you like to see all of the movement and appreciate it properly. We have engine-turned perlage. We have abrasive wheel stripes. We have what's probably started mechanically but finished by manual means with the mirrored anglage, probably a felt or fabric-tipped drill bit tool used to create that mirrored finish. Locating posts that help to localize the balance cock here on the bridge below. You can see that those posts have been polished on their top. We have satination on the wheels. We have polished screw heads with chamfered slots in circumference. And if you look, in addition to that mirrored anglage, we also have mirrored beveling inside of the jewel countersinks, which is a lovely look. If you love this watch, you won't see many more like it. It's a rare opportunity in great shape. Reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.